Chapter 9 continued Sama Brahma. It has already been stated that Vishwa Brahma, the cause for creation and absorption, being false in nature, is known as Asad Brahma. But Shakta Brahma, which always and everywhere has the form of Sat Brahma for support as Surya Brahma, which are the two powers of Brahma, the Asad and Sat Brahma. But they being in opposition to each other, and the force that plays with both of them being all encompassing, in essence, it is experienced as indifference. The same Swanand power which is opposing each other is played by another power of Brahma, namely Sama Brahma, praised by the Vedas as Vishnu Brahma. The Vedas say, Na sato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate sataha. By this rule, it may be true and with no possibility for falsehood. In the presence of untruth, there is no possibility for truth. Where there is such an opposition to enlightenment for tamas or inertia, it is only through unity amongst each other that all deeds are carried on. Besides, it is possible only because it is being run by a third entity. That entity is Sama Brahma, which is understood as the power of Vishnu. To sum up, the form which is devoid of differences and non-differences, one or many or nothing, truth and untruth are all forms of Sama. Varanya had a doubt that earlier when the pada of ignorance was described, he felt that the state of Sushupti was said to be samaras or equal in its essential identity. Then, how is it that this state is also being addressed as samaras? The words used were the same, but the meaning contained in them was different. It has to be understood in that sense. The identity of the essence of the gross and the subtle bodies was mentioned as samaras, which is the same as for Sushupti. Here the discussion is of the form of Brahma. Therefore, there is no relation as to the meaning of the same word. This significance of the words and their meanings has to be taken into consideration. Just as the words 100 and 1000 have their own separate meanings, but when used to indicate some figure, it refers to measurement. It is often used to indicate a huge number. In the same way, we should understand the words such as accomplishment, Atman, knowledge, encompassing, support, etc., with reference to the context in which they are used and in relation to each other. There can be several meanings to a word. Thus, without deluding yourself, understand the meaning of the word according to the context in which it is used. In the present context, the duality between Asad Brahma and Sat Brahma is due to the effect of Maya. It is the play of Maya of Swananda itself. Therefore, the power of Brahma that is playing with both of them should be considered as samaras. The experience encompasses universal Brahma as well. Asad Brahma is the form for the dissolution of the mind. There, the names and forms that appear make the understanding of Vaishnavi Dharma possible. It is to be understood as Vaishnavi Maya. Similarly, the form of Sat Brahma being always eternal, absolute and truthful, false happiness is of no use for that power. Still, the individual spirit has assumed the support of Asat because the Supreme Brahma had the desire to experience the play of dual forces. This is because of Vaishnavi Maya. It is due to her inspiration that the play of the two begins. Thus, one experiences non-differential, equal enjoyment with both of them, and this is the nature of Sama Brahma. It is difficult and has to be understood through experience. To sum up, in the absorption of causal matter through superconscious and incorporeal form, the experience being Sat and Asat in nature, one can realize their unique traits. Samaras, which is devoid of Tat and Tad, can be understood only through its experience. The power that plays about with dualities gives the experience of opposites. This means that in the play between ignorance and knowledge, The nature of forms with attributes and without attributes is experienced. The absolute distinctiveness, which is the glory of Swasamvedya, can be known through Sama Brahma. This is the presence of Vishnu. How does one accomplish this experience? As the Vedas say, the secret is given in the following verse. Asadrishyam Shaktir Drishirad Subruddar Kaha Sukhamaya Tayo Srishta Vishnud Tad Adhikrit Satyam Shiva Iti Chaturnam Sango Ayam Chakati Yad Bedena Sat Aham Krutidhyoti Jyotir Jayati Ganarajeti Gaditam. This statement often appears in the Upanishads and is explained in detail here. The meaning of the word Vaishnava Dharma Bhutatva is put forth as balanced self-knowing through meditative union with the divine and samyoga as the following verse in the Bhagavad Gita. Nasato vidyate bhavo na bhavo vidyate sata Bhayorapi drishtoyan stavanayasto tattvadarshibhi. There is a description of the above mentioned identity of the essence of power of Brahma and Tad form of yoga. In that Gita, the same shloka is considered the main one, and the entire Bhagavad Gita is an instruction in elucidation of the above shloka. Sama Brahma, which is beyond truth and untruth, should be understood to be Vishnu Brahma. This is the elucidation given everywhere. Gita's instruction of meditative union is only to the extent of how Sama Samvedya Brahma can be actualized and how it is to be accomplished. The path of meditative union beyond that is not instructed. Therefore, becoming one with Vaishnava Brahma means the conclusion of enlightened bliss of Sama Brahman and its Abheda Buddhi, meaning non-differentiated intellectual knowledge. This is achieved through the experience of Vishnu Abheda Buddhi. The procedure for this has been elaborated here. If Vishnu Brahma, the term for Sama Brahma, is experienced in the form of identity of essence, then that power particle begins to think that if Atman is a glory of Swanandesh, which is absolute bliss, then why and how can I achieve that majestic Samaras Swanan who plays about with truth and untruth? But then the identity with the essence of equanimity, the support for truth and untruth, is in vain because the duality is still present. Therefore, when I have attained the identity with the essence of equanimity, whether duality has melted or has gotten to be melted doesn't matter. When the identity with the essence of equanimity itself does not remain. Thinking in this manner, you should surrender all your identities with the essence of equanimity into the glory of your self-knowing. If one accomplishes one's meditative union in this manner, then sequentially one will definitely attain the identity with the essence of equanimity, with the dissolution of causal matter in superconscious meditative union. With that, there is also the dissolution of dual feelings of both good and bad. Then in the incorporeal superconscious meditative union, the identity with the essence of equanimity gets cast away and the dual feelings of good and bad disposition also gets absorbed. In the end, with the experience of totality, the Swananda Yoga in the form of one's own self gets completed and Sama Brahma in the form of identity with the essence of equanimity called Vishnu Brahma gets absorbed. At this stage, the experience of absolute bliss becomes totally possible. Vishnu Ya Abheda Buddhi Pada gets completed here. In the above verse, Krame Krame Sanyogaha means Swata Uttana Brahma Samadhi and Parata Uttana Brahma Samadhi. The Vidya and Vidyatmaka dualistic spiritual practice of meditative union is indicative of the order of giving up identity with the essence of equanimity. The explanation about dualistic principles has been done in the earlier discussion about spiritual practice of the yogic meditative union of Shakti and Surya Brahma. The same is taken up here. Since only identity with essence of equanimity is to be considered, there is no need for a separate serial order to be taken up. That means the experience of descent into causal matter of superconscious and into the incorporeal superconscious, which requires considering the name and form, is that of Shakta Brahma, and it takes the support of Sat form, which is the form of Surya Brahma. Similarly, the one who plays with both of them has the trait of Nandan Dharma of identity with the essence of equanimity, which is the form of Vishnu Brahma. This is very clear. When the whole process is concluded with the sacrifice of the duality, the whole experience of superconscious gets absorbed and merges into Swanandapada. The majesty of merging is then truly understood. Now we shall turn to the form of Shiva Brahma, which can be experienced through supraconscious meditative union, and we shall also see how that is accomplished. When we have a thorough knowledge of it, we will be able to fully understand the meaning of Shiva Abheda Buddhi Pada.